Hi everyone, my name's Kendra and I'm going to talk to you today about mental health care reform and why we need it here in the United States. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I work in a small 118 bed light locked psychiatric facility, and every day I see people come in, the same people over and over. It's a revolving door. Some people just keep coming back and keep coming back. Some people end up in jail, then they come back, and they go to jail again. Some end up homeless, and some die. It's an unfortunate reality of it. The sad reality of our current mental health care system is that it is in dire need of reform. Most people are not able to even get the length of stay that they need to start on the road to recovery. Mental illness is chronic and it's usually treatable, but it's not curable. You can't just give someone a certain medication and they're cured. It takes years of treatment, medication management, and therapy to help those suffering get back to the life that they deserve. What if mental health had a different stigma? What if it was treated more like a physical disease, like diabetes or cancer? What if we used early intervention and detection to treat mental health issues when the sufferers are young and receptive to treatment and not deep into their illness when they're older? That's what the Mental Health Reform Act of 2015 will hope to change. I'm going to give you some statistics about mental health. Currently, 1 in 4 Americans suffer from mental health issues. Those can be as simple as depression, anxiety, more complex like schizophrenia or bipolar disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder, some forms of autism, mood disorders, personality disorders. I know there's more. Co-occurring physical illnesses usually affect those suffering from mental health disorders as well. So that means that you can also are highly likely to get diabetes because they're not taking care of themselves and their diet's not right. They can have high blood pressure. They can suffer from hypotension, which is low blood pressure. Those suffering from mental illness are far more likely to hurt themselves or others compared to those who don't have mental illness. That can end up with people being placed on what are called 5150 holds for psychiatric evaluations, and that's also something that we need to deal with. Mental health reform is usually only called upon in times of crisis, such as mass shootings and domestic terrorism. Take, for example, Columbine or Sandy Hook Elementary School. Currently, jails and prisons are the largest mental health institutions in the United States. Jails and prisons. State funding and economic revenue that was once allocated for mental health is now being used on state and federal prisons. $5 billion annually is being spent to house these inmates that are non-violent offenders but are suffering from mental health illness. It costs more to house an inmate than it does to treat the mental illness that got them incarcerated in the first place. So in closing, I'd like to say that the Mental Health Care Reform Act of 2015 was enacted to help overhaul the American mental health care system. It would establish an Assistant Secretary of Mental Health and Substance Abuse. It would help promote best practices with early diagnosis, treatments, and rehabilitation. The legislation would permit same-day billing for mental health services provided by Medicaid. Also, a new mental health policy laboratory will be established to help fund grants for new and more effective models. Transparency for mental health, addiction, and addiction enforcement will be enacted as well. By passing this bill, we can potentially save $193 billion in lost earnings and productivity that serious, untreated mental illnesses are causing. We need to use preventative measures for mental illness, like we do for physical diseases. Early intervention, screening, education, and help on a socioeconomic level to achieve a grassroots level effort to help reform the way mental health is diagnosed and treated in this country. And that's what the Mental Health Care Reform Act of 2015 is about. Thank you very much.